Hi, Chris from Ayurveda Cornwall here today. I had a client who has mild anxiety, but it's one of those anxieties that makes them feel like they're not really worth it. And they rush into things and then they go from trying to calm down to trying to get a lot done and just not finding any balance because of the anxiety. And although they feel like they're not a stressed person, the stress does show up in the physical body in terms of digestive issues and insomnia, various sort of symptoms like that. So today, what I did was a little bit of a mix of NLP and meditation for this client. Put him into the alpha state. So the alpha state of meditation, but just using a countdown, which you can get from my YouTube channel. I'll post that up. It's a really quick and easy state, and I was taught that through an NLP expert who's been doing it for 15 years with lots of clients. It's really powerful. I love it. It works with the neurons of the brain from an NLP perspective. So we use the language of neuro-linguistic programming with it in the meditation, but using a meditative state for about 15 minutes. And the client thought they were in there for about 5 minutes. But when I first did that a while back, I thought I was just in there for about 5 minutes as well. So that takes practice. So we got the client relaxed into that state before putting them on the timeline. And then they thought that the first event had started when they were around 11 or 12. And I do find that that's a common thing. We can remember around 11 or 12, but really it can happen at 5, 6, 4 in this instance. And we took a little bit of time, and the timeline is very non-invasive. It's gentle. It's working with the unconscious mind, and it's very light and it's very easy. But when we go back there, we make sure that the client is disassociated from the events. So it's not used for major trauma, which is not my area of work or expertise, but it's used for just mild incidences that have happened to form and keep in the body over the years, and people don't realize it. So we worked on that. It took a while. We did a little bit of disassociation with the event at hand, and then found that we had to go back to age 5, but actually age 4 to clear the mild anxiety that was there for a particular reason. And then what we do is we walk along the timeline, obviously guided by me, and dealing with the subconscious and making sure that the client is safe and not feeling the emotions in terms of going into the event. So we don't go into the event. And yeah, we just use all the submodalities of hearing, seeing, smell, olfactory, sound, all the sorts of things that we use on a normal everyday level. And then we use how do people see and feel things. So video, color, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I really enjoyed it today, and what we did then was just allow the client some space, because they had let go easily of the thing that was causing their anxiety as an adult. As a child, we let it go. I allowed that person some space just to walk the timeline. And then what that does is it eliminates any feelings of regret or fault or not being good enough throughout the years. And then when the person comes back to reality, we will then work on a future event that's coming up, and we do some work where that they don't feel that thing. Now, it doesn't cure anxiety. Obviously, you need to be aware. Anxiety is, as we said in the meditation, it's a warning. It's just a warning from the body for something, and we thank it and we acknowledge it and we allow it. We don't ignore it. But it's when it's going to heightened states that it becomes an issue that can affect your life and your relationships, is when it could do with some dealing. So we need a little bit of awareness, so you don't go into a black tunnel at night time in a downtown area, or walk across the savannas of Africa on your own in broad daylight. So, you know, it's useful in some ways. So if you need anything like that and you want to have a no obligation chat, please give me a call or send me a WhatsApp, and I'll be happy to help if I can. Thank you.